With 4 races left in the F4 Indian Championship 2023, Cooper Webster wanted to surge away from pole position to put it to bed before he'd even drawn breath. He took the lead early on in front of Akshay Bora and Alex Sawyer, with Rishabh Rajiv darting forward from 6th on the grid to P4. Despite a little moment between Rishabh Jain and Jack Taylor, there were no fisticuffs on the opening lap, and it was clean sailing from there.
And Rishabh Rajiv getting himself up from P6 to P4 in what was an electric start, but none more electric than that of Cooper Webster, who already had an 0.8 of a second gap in lap 1 itself.
The battle would start between Alex Sawyer and Rishabh Rajiv as they duelled over the final podium place. It would be an interesting one, as both drivers were prepared to give as much as they'd got. But behind them, there was something even more interesting brewing. Shahan Ali Mohsin was initially P5, but eventually he would relinquish that to Rishabh Jain for the Chennai Turbo Riders. So as the battle for podium positions continued on, there would be battles elsewhere. Nordis Gafoor making a big bold lunge on the inside of Jack Taylor, and despite a little bit of paint traded, they gave each other space and clean racing could resume.
After that, Cooper Webster pulled away further and further. He got a 4-second gap from Akshay Bora, and in the background we saw racing action pick up once again as Jack Taylor and Nordis Gafoor, after their contact, were able to set in some good, clean and consistent laps. Exactly what they needed at this stage of the race. Quite like Akshay Bora, who in second place needed just that little bit extra to get towards Cooper Webster, who at this moment was running away with it.
Behind the podium, the master tactician Shahan Ali Mohsin had got himself into a brilliant 6th position. It may not sound like much, but for the reverse grid pole for race 2, it would put him into 1st position. Master tactician, genius in waiting. Cooper Webster continued to get the pace down even further as the race wore on. Akshay Bora threw everything he could at him and was able to at least minimise the gap that Cooper Webster had beaten him by to half that of what it had been in the previous race. Rishabh Rajiv had to consolidate 4th position, not able to get on terms with the Vietnamese driver in front of him, as Alex Sawyer would take 3rd, Akshay Bora would take 2nd. But still pushing even on the last lap, the Australian Cooper Webster took 1 step closer to wrapping up the inaugural F4 Indian Championship. His lead is now 51.5 points, with 75 remaining. If he beats Akshay Bora in the first race of the day on Sunday, he becomes the new champion. Rishabh Rajiv was not able to get to the podium this time. Alex Sawyer bows out of the title fight, and Cooper Webster just has to beat Akshay Bora one more time to be champion in 2023.